You're listening to the Lifestyle You podcast, where we help you achieve a realistic and human approach to health and fitness by working with your body, not against it. My name is Jenna Altman, and my mission is to help you, the active woman, find a healthy lifestyle that you can consistently show up for and make decisions that align with you and your body. In today's episode, we're going to be addressing the question of how can I better manage my stress on a daily basis? Stress can actually work directly against your body and the transformation that you're trying to achieve. And this is why it's so important that we are addressing it today. Are you someone who is feeling tired? Are you sick of never completing your endless to-do list? And are you just feeling burnt out from the hustle? But you've already tried all the meditations, the baths, the massages, but nothing seems to help. In today's episode, we will address, is stress always a bad thing? Does stress in one area equal stress in another? And how can stress be managed on a daily basis? Let's dive in. I am so excited to share with you our brand new free 5-day Work With Your Body challenge. Over the course of 5 days, you're going to learn mental and physical practices to take care of your body and mind without equipment or tracking every morsel of food, which is actually perfect for the upcoming holiday season. In this challenge, I'll teach you our signature M3 method, mindset, metabolism, and movement, and 3 micro habits you can easily incorporate into your day to start listening to your own body and make decisions that feel good to you. There will be 3 live trainings with me, an exclusive Facebook group to surround yourself with positivity and like-minded women for accountability and connection, and a kickoff call with me to troubleshoot any obstacles you might encounter. Oh, and the best part, there are prizes. As a challenge participant, you'll be eligible for an extra special promotion on top of a free month of one-on-one nutrition coaching, 2 spots in the Holiday Flex, which is our signature 8-week fitness coaching program to help you stay consistent throughout the holidays, and also a $50 gift card to Athleta. I promise you there is no catch. This is all yours for free. You will have the opportunity to work with me and my team one-on-one and in our private small group program, but there's absolutely zero obligation to sign up for either of those things. We will be kicking off the free challenge on Monday, October 24th, and we cannot wait to get started with you. Sign up now using the link in the show notes. I know stress really well. Stress is probably one of my closest friends for as long as I can remember, and it is something that I have been challenged by for pretty much my entire life. Everyone who is close to me would say the same thing. They would probably tell you that I am a naturally stressed person. I'm someone who is anxious, and that is an identity that I have just understood and related to for a really long period of time. But with that said, I have come to understand stress in different lenses and different perspectives. And I want to just address the fact that stress isn't inherently bad, actually. Stress is a good thing. Stress was designed to alert our bodies when things were not safe. So if we think back to the time when hunters and gatherers were in their tribes and were being threatened by animals consistently, we had a stress response that would tell us to run, basically fight or flight. And so now we live in this modern day society where there is stress all around us, and our body doesn't know the difference between stress from a animal chasing us or stress from a work deadline or stress from a relationship or stress from just the internal chatter that's going on in our minds. And when we think of stress, there are different buckets of stress, and where the stress can fall doesn't necessarily matter. We can classify stress all that we want in these separate buckets, but at the end of the day, we are just aggregating to the same amount of stress across the board. And so this is why it's really important that when we're thinking about stress, we're talking about stress, we're identifying where it's coming from and how we can best support it. It's not this matter of removing stress or never having anxiety. It's just, how do we deal with it? How do we respond to stressful situations? How can we prepare ourselves to have the tools to better cope with anxiety? And so in today's episode, I'm excited because we're going to talk about 3 different lifestyle swaps. And this is probably a different take on stress management than you've heard before. And I'm excited about it because it's going to just be some evidence-based practices that can actually help you manage your stress without having to take baths and go for massages and all those ways of managing stress that we typically see. So our first one that we're going to talk about is trading your alarm clock. So instead of being woken up by your alarm clock, we're going to start syncing with our circadian rhythm. So instead of using an alarm clock and allowing that loud, disruptive sound to come into your ears and your mind first thing upon waking, I want you to start to tune into your sleep and wake cycle. So the idea here is to find that circadian rhythm, which is basically your natural sleep and wake pattern. So your body has this natural inclination of waking and sleeping. So when we can tune into that and sync up with the natural light that comes into our windows to get on a consistent bedtime routine, that is going to help us improve our sleep. And when we improve our sleep, we're also going to improve our ability to manage stress, as well as increase energy and have just better hormones overall. So the first thing that we're going to do in order to sync with our circadian rhythm is understand your own circadian rhythm and the hormones associated with it. So we'll dive into the science a little bit here, but your stress hormone, cortisol, again, is not a bad thing. And it's actually responsible for waking you up in the morning. So there is going to be a spike in the morning when you wake up of cortisol, but it should be also tapering off throughout the day. So that's when melatonin, yes, this is actually something that our body naturally makes, is going to kick in. And that's going to let the body know that it's time to chill out and prepare for sleep. So when we can tune into our own circadian rhythm and start to sync up with this, we are going to be more successful. So another practice that I want to encourage you to incorporate here is practicing consistency. So your body will adapt to your circadian rhythm if you're setting it up to do so. So the goal here is to try and have a consistent bedtime and wake up time to let the body learn these patterns, to let this circadian rhythm sync up with you. And then the last thing that we're going to do here in order to get this circadian rhythm in a good place is creating a nighttime and morning routines. So if possible, if you can have a routine for both of these parts of the day, this is going to signal your body that it's time to wind down or it's time to start the day, respectively. So utilizing a practice of some sort, whichever this looks like for you, something that calms your body down before you go to bed, that is what we're looking for here. Now, lifestyle swap number 2. We are going to trade hustling for rest. If we're not hustling, then we always feel like we're losing progress. I don't know about you, but I definitely have felt that way before. And for me, it often looks like I'm feeling like I'm falling off track or I'm getting behind or I'm just not moving fast enough. This is because in our society, we're led to believe that the more work you do, the more successful that you will be. And while, of course, hard work is absolutely the foundation of success, it doesn't mean that you need to give up rest in order to do so, because rest is an incredibly important aspect of productivity. And the same goes for your health and fitness. Rest and recovery actually supports progress. And when we're thinking about rest from a health and fitness lens, I want you to think about how we can incorporate light movement. So this can look like going for walks. This is going to help us promote recovery. But the goal here is not to put additional stress on the body. Exercise is also a stress on the body. So when we are doing active recovery and movement that feels good for the body, that is going to help the body recover. Another thing we can do is also work on our sleep, like we've already mentioned. So the goal here would be 7 to 9 hours of sleep, eating enough food for your body. So making sure that your body is getting all of the nutrients that it needs, prioritizing whole nutrient-dense foods as much as we can, and of course, reducing stress. So the last swap that we are going to talk about today is trading your to-do list, your endless to-do list. I know, it is so long. We're going to trade that for 1 to 3 things to accomplish each day. And I already know what you're thinking. How in the world am I only going to put 3 things down on my to-do list? It's absolutely possible, and I'm going to show you how. So basically, I'll give you my example of how I do this in my own life. So every Friday, I take out my weekly planner and I pull up Google Calendar and ClickUp, which is the task management software that I use. Based on that and all of the responsibilities that I have for the upcoming week, I basically schedule out 1 to 3 things that must get done for each day. And it's totally cool if those things change. So don't put this pressure on yourself to feel like you have to have everything mapped out. Things are going to move and shift depending on priority and depending on what comes up, especially if you're a business owner. There's always things that are moving around. And yes, there are always going to be more than 3 things that are on your to-do list. But the idea here is those are the nice to haves. Like, yes, it would be great if I accomplished these things, but I won't be upset. I will feel accomplished and I will feel productive if I get those main 1 to 3 things done. This is going to help you feel so much more accomplished at the end of your day. So when we're thinking about this topic and how to manage stress, the food for thought that I want you to take away today is that it is absolutely possible to better manage your stress. Not get rid of it completely, because that is not the goal. But the key here is to find ways that work best for you. So if you are somebody who deals with a lot of stress, whichever bucket that falls into, I hope that today's episode will give you some things that you can apply to your lifestyle that will start to reduce or better manage that stress for you. And one final note that I want to leave you with is please do not let exercise be the only way that you manage your stress. Yes, exercise can be a great way to manage our stress, but it is also a stressor on the body, and it shouldn't be the only way that we are managing our stress. Making a few of these lifestyle swaps that we talked about today can make all the difference for you. All right, my friends, that is all I have for you today. I hope that you all have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon. Thank you for listening to the Lifestyle You podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a 5-star rating and review to help others discover the magic we're creating together. If there's someone in your life who could benefit from listening to this episode, be sure to forward it along to them. You can also follow me on Instagram at Jenna Ray Altman for more helpful content, resources, and good vibes. As always, thank you so much for being here.